The day's prayer will be offered by our guest chaplain, Assemblymember Rich Gordon. Mr. Gordon.
Let us pray. Lord, again this week we will examine issues and discuss proposals. Help us to be civil in our discourse and respectful to all. Never let us be distracted by the argument and the rhetoric, such that we forget that we are dealing with the lives and the living patterns of human beings, those who have and those who have not, but all of these people possessing an indescribable dignity and destiny. Bless us to your service. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. We ask our guests and visitors to remain standing and join us for the flag salute. Please join Assemblymember Rodriguez as he leads us in the pledge. Mr. Rodriguez.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
You may be seated. Reading of the previous day's journal.
Assembly Chamber, Sacramento, Tuesday, April 21st, 2015. The Assembly met at 7 a.m. Honorable Jim Wood, Assemblymember 2nd District presiding. Chief Clerk E. Dotson Wilson at the desk. Reading Clerk Kathleen M. Lewis reading.
Mr. Holden moves. Ms. Waldron seconds that the reading of the previous day's journal will be dispensed with. Presentations of petitions, there are none. Introduction and reference of bills will be deferred. Reports of committees will be deemed read and amendments deemed adopted. Messages from the governor, there are none. Messages from the Senate, there are none. Moving to motions and resolutions, the absences for the day. Absent for funeral, Assemblywoman Campos. Moving to procedural motions, Mr. Holden, you are recognized for your motions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request unanimous consent to suspend Assembly Rule 118 and allow Assembly members Cooley, Jones-Sawyer, and Olson to have guests and photographers on the floor today. Ms. Olson's guest will be at her desk for introduction.
Without objection, the request is granted.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I request unanimous consent to suspend Assembly Rule 45.5 and allow Assembly members Alejo, Cooley, Gallagher, and Weber to speak on Adjourn in Memories today.
Without objection, the request is granted.
Mr. Speaker, I request unanimous consent to suspend Joint Rule 62A, the file notice requirements, to allow the Governmental Organization Committee to meet and to hear Assembly Bill 1203, Jones-Sawyer, and Assembly Bill 1320, Menshine, upon adjournment of session on Thursday, April 30th, 2015, in room 4202.
Without objection, such shall be the order.
Mr. Speaker, I request unanimous consent to rescind the action whereby on April 21st, 2015, Assembly Bill 812, Weber, was read a second time, authors' amendments to the bill read and adopted, and the bill ordered reprinted and to be re-referred to the committee.
Without objection, that request is granted.
At the request of the author, please remove file item 106, ACR 49, Weber, from the consent calendar.
Without objection, the clerk will note. Thank you, Mr. Holden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members, we have special guests with us in the Assembly today. Moving to guest introductions. Mr. Cooley. Mr. Cooley, you are recognized from Mr. O'Donnell's desk. Members, If the members could please clear the aisles and take your conversations off the floor. We have many guest introductions before us today. Members. Mr. Cooley, you are recognized from Mr. O'Donnell's desk.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise today to celebrate the 60th anniversary of VSP and introduce its CEO and President, Rob Lynch, and the CEO of VSP Vision Care, Jim McGran, and an optometrist and professional representative of the VSP organization, Dr. April Omoto. VSP Global's corporate headquarters, overseen by Rob Lynch, is in Rancho Cordova, right across the street from our City Hall. And VSP has been a long-time community partner providing vision care services in our region and around the United States. The company was originally founded by 9 appropriately visionary optometrists from California who had the goal of producing high-quality, cost-effective access to eye care to as many in the community as possible. And this year marks the 60th year of growth of VSP and its unique mission to help people see the world around them better. It is the largest not-for-profit vision benefits and services company in the globe, and there are now more than 32,000 VSP network eye doctors and 71 million Americans receiving vision coverage through VSP, based here in California, here in Sacramento County, in the city of Rancho Cordova. Eye doctors, as you may know, are often the first to detect signs of serious health conditions, including diabetes, high blood pressure, which makes eye exams an important and very cost-effective preventive care measure that can also improve overall health. VSP has 3 mobile eye clinics that travel all over the U.S., providing free vision care services to communities in need. All 3 have state-of-the-art exam rooms, and 2 of the 3 actually have a finishing lab that can make eyeglasses in a single day. And today out in Capitol Park, just past the fish pond, one of these clinics with this type of mobile lab, they can conduct an eye exam and produce glasses in the same day. Unless there's a very unusual prescription, in which case they will expedite getting it to the individual involved. VSP is active as a not-for-profit, but also funding directly philanthropic work that deliver eye care and eyewear where they're most in need. In its 60-year history, they have donated about $171 million in free eye care services to almost 1 million adults and children who would otherwise not receive eye care. And in this way, they help people do their best in work, life, and school. And VSP now employs more than 2,650 persons locally and more than 5,600 globally. These employees have volunteered more than 43,000 hours in service to charitable organizations and local community initiatives. Please join me in welcoming CEO Rob Lynch, Jim McGann, and optometrist April Omoto here on the floor of the Assembly today.
Members staying with guest introductions, Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Gallagher, you have the floor. You have guests with us today.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, members, I have with me my district staff is with me today. I have Julia Cordy, Ethan Olmanis, and Marley DeSalt. And I also have some constituents from Knights Landing here just to the north, Claire Lee Blokely and Mary Leiser. Thank you for being here.
Mr. Jones Sawyer. Mr. Jones Sawyer, you are recognized for your guest introduction today.
Mr. Speaker and members, I would also like to recognize several members of the California State Youth Ambassador Program are here with me in the back of the chambers. California State Youth Ambassadors are distinguished California youth leaders who represent a diverse school districts and communities statewide. Ambassadors work in partnership with educators, school administrators, parents, students, and educational officials to identify and eliminate major barriers to student success in California public schools. These extraordinary young people are here in the Capitol today talking with their state legislators on the importance of having counselors in our schools. Please join me in welcoming the future leaders of our great state.
And Mr. Jones Sawyer, I believe you have additional guests with us today?
Yes, I'm waiting for them.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to recognize several members of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, or who are here with me in the back of the chambers and in the gallery. The members here on the floor are Sandra Phillips Johnson, Regional Director, Far West Region. Leona Bridges, member of the National Social Action Commission. Anise Jones, Social Action Coordinator, Far West Region. Fabian Wesson, and the former Speaker Herb Wesson's wife, co-chair, Delta Days in Sacramento. Jacqueline DuPont Walker, co-chair of Delta Days in Sacramento. The Delta Sigma Theta sorority has been a cornerstone in the black community for decades, serving as a training ground for thousands of young women before they enter the workforce. Deltas often possess the attributes needed to effect real change in our community, including strength, perseverance, and humility. And as you can see, they are in their crimson and cream, and my fraternity also wears crimson and cream, and what we say in our community, crimson and cream is every lady's dream. So please join me in a warm assembly welcome for the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta.
Our Minority Leader, Ms. Olson, has guests with us today. Ms. Olson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I have a variety of guests with me here today. Two very important people in my life are sitting on the floor with me, and that's my dad, Dave Olson, and my sister, Angie Bond. And then up in the gallery with us today, I have a number of constituents from both Stanislaus and San Joaquin counties in the Central Valley, as well as a number of family members, including my nieces and nephew, Jaden Bond, Josie Bond, and Bryn Bond. Please welcome all of them.
Yeah.
Members, continuing with guest introductions, Mr. Cooper, you are recognized from your desk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to acknowledge students visiting from the Alice Burney Elementary School in Southland Park. This is their first visit to the Capitol for many of them, and we are honored to share this experience with them. Welcome, Alice Burney.
Members, we have a few more guest introductions today. Mr. Mathis, you are recognized. Members, please give your attention to Mr. Mathis.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome the students, parents, and teachers of Harvesting Hope who are with us up in the balcony today. In 2014, the students of Mission Oak High School's Cultural History of the United States class were given the task of creating a student service learning project. Their instructions were to develop and complete a project that would have a positive impact on their school and community. Because of the high poverty rate in Tulare County, 21%,
members,
they chose to start a campaign to fight against hunger in their community. Since Harvesting Hope began working with Be Healthy Tulare, Tulare East, and Tulare Union High Schools and other community volunteers, Harvesting Hope has brought in a combined total of 75,000 pounds of food since January 2014. This amount has roughly provided 62,500 people with food. I've had the great pleasure of going out and helping Harvesting Hope pick some of that food. This is a great organization. They show what Tulare County is all about, and I'm proud to have them as my guests here today. Thank you guys for coming.
Mr. Thurman, you are recognized at your desk for your guest introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today I rise and ask that we give a great assembly welcome to two groups of young people who've come to represent the 15th Assembly District. One is a middle school in Berkeley called Willard, where many of the students and their parents, I've had the opportunity to meet them and to thank them for their advocacy for efforts to improve recreation and athletics and programs like swimming to support our overall wellness of our students. I present to you the students from Willard Middle School from Berkeley for your attention and to recognize them. Welcome, welcome. And traveling further east along 80 to present many students who come from the Richmond area, who today are here with the Richmond Police Activities League. It is a fantastic mentoring organization led by one of our retired Richmond police officers of many years, Corporal Larry Lewis, who is the executive director. He's joined with his staff, Brenda McCreaston, and a mentor from Bay Area Community Resources, Tanea Brown, and a number of other mentors. The Richmond Police Activities League is the place where young people go for activities. They've got a state-of-the-art basketball program, a state-of-the-art boxing facility, and they provide great mentoring and job training for youth Don't take it from me. Take it from these fantastic youth who are in the gallery today. Please, Assembly member colleagues, welcome Richmond Police Activities Lead.
Members, we are going to move to business on the daily file. Business on the daily file. Second reading. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 291, 767, 372, 1330 with amendments, 36 with amendments, 289, 552 with amendments, 332 with amendments, 348 with amendments, 766 with amendments, 304 with amendments, 357 with amendments, 622 with amendments, 1509 with amendments, 44 with amendments, 1352 with amendments, 770, 1010 with amendments, 630 with amendments, and 317 with amendments.
All bills will be deemed read and amendments deemed adopted. Moving to concurrence in Senate amendments, that's file item 21, ACR 32. The clerk will read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 32 by Assemblymember Bloom and others relative to California Craft Beverage Month.
Mr. Bloom, you are up.
And I'm ready. Believe it or not. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm presenting ACR 32, which declares the month of April 2015 as California Craft Beverage Month. This bill is back for concurrence from Senate amendments that dealt with technical languages, and it would be nice to get this passed before the end of California Craft Beverage Month. We have only this and one more opportunity, so I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. 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 The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 74, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. Moving to Assembly, third reading, file item 22, pass and retain. File item 23, AB 267. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 267 by Assemblymember Jones Sawyer, an act relating to criminal procedure.
Mr. Jones Sawyer, you may open.
Mr. Chair and members, I rise today for purposes of amendments. These amendments narrow the list of advisements the court will be required to review a defendant during the plea bargaining process. Specifically, I am striking the foreign travel restriction and immigration advisement. Current law already requires a judge to issue an immigration advisement to a defendant. These amendments were discussed in Public Safety Committee. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 53, noes 15. Measure passes. File items 24 through 27 pass and retain. File item 28, ACR 37. The clerk will read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 37 by Assemblymember Gray relative to Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month.
Mr. Gray, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. AC 37 delegates the month of November to be California's Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. My district and the Central Valley as a whole is home to a large and diverse Sikh American community that I am proud to represent. Sikh immigrants first came to California in 1899 to work on railroads and in lumber mills. By 1910, these pioneers turned farming in the Sacramento, San Joaquin, and Imperial Valleys. Sikh Americans found intolerance and discrimination all too common, and legislation to allow them to naturalize as U.S. citizens was not enacted until 1946. Despite these early challenges, Sikh communities have thrived in the United States. The first U.S. Sikh temple was founded in Stockton in 1912. There are now more than 100 temples across the United States, including the Livingston Temple in my district. Sikh farmers have played a significant role in the Central Valley agriculture, especially in the production of peaches, raisins, pistachios, and okra. They also have a long history of military service, having fought in every American war since World War I. Despite their contributions to our state, both past and present, Sikh Americans are disproportionately targeted for hate crimes, and Sikh boys suffer from bullying in schools at twice the national average. But in the face of violence, the Sikh American community continues to peacefully overcome. Their significant contributions to our state and country merit appreciation and recognition. So today, please join me in passing ACR 37 to designate the month of November as Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. I ask that the first roll be open for co-authors.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Ms. Olson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I join my colleague in rising in support of ACR 37 and also ask for a wide display of co-authors on this measure. It's an honor 2 weeks in a row to be able to recognize and honor the Sikh community. It's one of the largest populations of Sikhs in our state is in our home of Stanislaus, Merced, and San Joaquin counties. They are business leaders, they're community leaders. I've had great opportunities to visit with them at festivals, in their temples. They are really movers and shakers for all of us back home. So I want to honor them for being here and thank all of you for honoring them through Sikh Awareness Appreciation Month in ACR 37.
Seeing no further discussion or debate on this item, Mr. Gray, you may close.
Again, I would ask that the first roll be open for co-authors, and members, I would ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray is asking that the first roll be open for co-authors. With that, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who wish to vote. This is to add as co-authors members on ACR 37. Co-authors on ACR 37. There are 75 co-authors added on ACR 37. Without objection, we may take a voice vote on this item. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.